Hello, everybody. Warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to this special broadcast. I'm sitting here with an elusive speedster with me. He's just 15 years old and already has won laurels for the entire nation. This is Aarav Dewan, 15-year-old. He's won the silver medal at the FIA Asia-Pacific Championship. And what's more is that he's shifting the right gears for India's presence onto the global motorsporting stage. We'll talk to this young speedster right from his early morning karting training to how he's balancing school life as well. What did he make of, that finish line moment that he was finally on to the podium? And what are the final dreams? Are we looking at an elusive F1 seat as well? We'll talk about all of that. Aarav, first and foremost, many thanks for taking out the time. A huge congratulations on getting that silver medal. What did it feel like, crossing that finishing line, the last few corners? Take us through the last lap, maybe.
So, obviously it felt great. It was an amazing feeling to get second, not just for myself, but for the whole country. But talking about the last lap, I was under a lot of pressure from my teammate. He was a very quick driver, and if the race was a few more laps longer, I would have had quite a challenge on my hands.
What were the last laps like? Was it a straight? Was it a couple of tricky corners? What was it like?
So this track was very tricky. Like, there wasn't a single corner where it was easy to drive. So I was always under a lot of pressure towards the end of the race.
How much did you practice and, really, I remember watching a Rush back in the day. Ethan Hunt, he closes his eyes, and James Hunt, beg your pardon, he closes his eyes and then he's trying to memorize the track. Did you do the same? Did you know it by heart? Could you drive on the track with your eyes closed?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, we didn't actually get to practice much. There were a lot of issues with the with the customs, so a lot of the teams didn't get their parts in until Friday. So we only got 1 day of practice before the race. And for me, it was a completely new engine and chassis, so I had to learn that along with the track. So it was quite the challenge for me.
At such a young age, at 15 years of age, understanding how the chassis and the downforce, play their part when you're talking about go-karting, to build the kart right from scratch with your own parts. You said customs plays a huge role and a problem. All of that, it's such a young age. I mean, a lot of, kids your age would probably be doing the same thing, but on the PlayStation.
So I'm not building the kart myself, but I do help with the setup a lot with my mechanic. Talking to your team, your coach, your mechanic is very important. You have to constantly be giving feedback about what you want from the kart, just so that you can extract those little bit of few tenths, and just, it's very important.
Tenths of a second, you said it yourself, right at the highest stage also, people are fighting for an inch of a, piece on the grid. It's probably just tenths of a second right at the end of the wire. What kind of mental preparation goes into all of this? Because you see, table tennis stars would practice on days for reflexes and all of that. We've seen Max Verstappen and all these, Formula One stars do the same. Do you go through that? You have a special regimen for reflexes and all of that, just to train your brain?
So I do have exercises, both mental and physical. Like you said, I do reflex exercises with lights, and then there's the the tennis ball catching. Really must have seen that.
Yeah.
A lot of F1 drivers do that. So I do a lot of
brain kinetics to understand what your brain wants you to do and how quickly can your body actually do what your brain asks you to do. But let's cycle back a little bit. Talk to us about how you started racing. Where did this love come from? I mean, I remember back in the day, I used to watch Top Gear and those kind of shows, and that's where my love for the motorsports actually began.
So I went to my local karting track when I was 12.
Where was this? Where was this karting
This was
track?
in Gurgaon. So I went there to host a birthday party for myself. It was my 12th or 11th birthday, I think, and I was faster than everyone else. And then that's when I realized that I enjoy this, and I felt like I was good at it. So it just started from then.
How old were you then when you first sat down in the kart?
In the rental kart, the first time I sat down, I was about 8, but that was a long time back.
Yeah.
But properly, when I started, I was around 11, 12.
11, 12,
Yeah.
and now you're 15. So in about 3 years, you've actually converted a random hobby into actual medal for the entire country.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be a real proud moment. And the fact that people don't talk about racing as much, does that bother you? I mean, people don't talk about racing as much. If you were a javelin thrower, maybe the entire world would be after you, at least all the brands and the endorsements and all of that.
Yeah.
But not so much with racing. Does that play a fiddle in your mind?
It doesn't anger me, or it more so sort of saddens me, because it's not just me. There's other drivers. A lot of the times, talent goes unrecognized, especially in India, because you'll see, like, motorsport is the most expensive sport in the world, and without outside interest from big companies, there's a lot of good talent that goes unnoticed, and drivers aren't able to finance their career.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when you're looking at the money aspect of it all, whenever a young sportsman sets out to, build a career for themselves, it has to be financially viable. Now, you're really young at this age right now, but I'm sure, you come from a sporting background, your parents back at home, people back at home, do they counsel you into whether this is the right step to take forward, or, there are going to be tricks and challenges that are going to be coming your way? Are you prepared for it? Do you speak about it, think about it?
Yeah, I speak with my parents about it a lot. They're very realistic with me. They're very open that I have to, the main thing is that whatever you do, you have to remember racing is very expensive. It's every race is pretty much a gamble and a sacrifice. And obviously, I also have to balance my school life along with that. So it can get a bit complicated at times, but at the end of the day, it's still racing. So
sounds like too much burden on these young 15-year-old shoulders, but how are you balancing it? Let's talk about your school life as well. Now that you're a cool star in school, you can walk around with this jersey. Mind you, this is he's wearing the India print on the back. You can turn around and show that to the camera a little bit. See, there you have it. I mean, that's the Team India jersey. This is the IFA member. That's the international governing body when it comes to motorsports. And you also have the FMSCI logo right on the front. So maybe you can wear this jersey to school and you're the next cool kid on the block. But do your friends really understand racing per se before we get into balancing? Or do you have to tell them what a close hairpin is, or what's a tricky set of corners? We're racing against time, guys, not each other. Those are concepts that maybe not everybody your age would understand.
some of them do, most of them don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of my close friends don't. To them,
What do they think you're all about?
they know that, like, they obviously, they don't discourage me. They're very supportive, and but it's a very difficult sport to understand. So, and it's not for everyone.
And how do you balance, your studies and everything? I mean, are you focused on racing more, on studies more? I know your father's watching this interview right now, but I just wanted to understand: are you equally focused on studies, because physics is an important aspect when you come to racing?
So I'm leaning more towards racing right now, and have been for the last 3 years that I've been doing it properly. I don't enjoy studying like a lot of kids my age. Yeah, exactly. But I just try and catch up on as much work as I can and just prepare well for my exams. Other than that, my focus is completely towards racing.
So the racing is the way to go. You want to get to that F1 grade, don't you?
Yeah.
How soon do you think you're going to be able to jump to, let's say, the next step? And what is the next step?
I never look so far ahead. I'm always trying to focus on my next race.
Right.
But I want to be, and I wish to be, and I hope to be in a Formula 4 car by next year.
Best wishes to you. Let's hope to see you in a Formula 4 car. And, when you were, let's go back to the Asia-Pacific Championship, you were surrounded by, people your age, some of them youngsters as well, some of them a little bit older maybe. But this was the senior rank that you were fighting for in that championship. What was the competition like? And in terms of, near neighboring countries, do you see more competition in our neighboring countries than back at home in India?
So the championship itself was happening in Sri Lanka, and I was very surprised by the standard of drivers over there. They're quite fast.
Okay.
So it was their home track, so they were expected to be fast, but they were a lot better than I expected, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was happy to know that I have some serious competition. Drivers from, like, all over Asia. I mean, I saw some really good talent out there in the championship. Yeah.
And back at home, domestic talent, what's your opinion on that?
I think it's quite good actually in the top 10-ish area. It drops off a bit after that, but motorsport is like at an exponential growth in India right now, and it just keeps getting better every single year. Since I've started racing, there's never been a single year where the growth is slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things really have changed. With Netflix's Drive to Survive, more people started watching Formula One. People started understanding what entails to be a driver and, a second driver, the politics, the drama of it all. And then Formula One, releasing that film as well. What's your take on the film that I'm sure you've seen it?
I actually haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Well, that makes the two of us, buddy. Honestly, for watching so much of racing every week in, week out, I haven't been able to watch that film. I also feel like that's going to be too much fiction for me. For a true blood racing fan, I would want to see more of racing happen.
So I saw Gran Turismo. That also had a lot of fiction mixed up. But at the end of the day, it's still racing, and I would love to watch the movie.
Have you seen some of the old-time classics like Rush, some of the other old
I've not
racing films, Need for Speed or something like that?
No.
Do you play it on the console? Do you have the Formula One on console on PlayStation or something?
I'm like big into video games.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much got introduced into racing
because of video games.
Because of video games. I was just on my PS4. I was playing the F1 game, and that's how I learned the names of all the drivers, what teams they race for, and that's how my interest developed.
Do you still follow the calendar season with the Formula One race? I think Singapore Grand Prix just happened. George Russell finally got a podium. He bagged the first place in Singapore.
Yeah.
Do you follow it? Do you continue?
Yeah,
What's the team that you like? Tell us.
So I'm a huge Red Bull fan, but mostly because I'm also a huge Max Verstappen fan ever since I started watching. But
I was going to ask you, maybe it's because of Sebastian Vettel, but
no, I love Sebastian Vettel. I mean, who doesn't?
Yep.
Such a complete driver and amazing. He had an amazing run at Red Bull, and his last championship was right here in Noida.
Absolutely.
So,
I had the honor and the great chance of meeting him when he was in India and had a one-on-one with Sebastian Vettel. Real nice guy. Actually, all German racers, Nico Rosberg as well. Nico Hülkenberg very recently this season got his first podium. I mean, imagine the kind of grit and determination you need. He's been racing for ages now. Got his podium now in a Sauber team, in a Kick Sauber team. So, so much that changes and happens in, Formula One racing, the ups and downs. But coming back to you, Red Bull because of Verstappen. Maybe after Verstappen, who do you like after Verstappen?
Piastri is he's just started racing in Formula One and he's already shown that he's quite good. The recent races haven't gone his way, but still at the start of the year, and even last year, I think he's shown that he's quite a complete driver.
He definitely is championship material. At least that's what he's shown so far. But what about the rookie drivers? Because that's where you want to be yourself, right? You've got so many young drivers. You've got Isaac Hadjar. You've got Bortello. You've got so many of those, rookie drivers. What do you have to say about the level of competition, at least with the younger cream on the grid?
I think their rise was like incredible because they've gone up every single year. They've reached a different level, and it's like their rise to Formula One was incredible to see. I mean, Bortoleto had probably one of the greatest F2 seasons ever.
Kimi Antonelli, I mean, that's just insane. He didn't even do F3. Yeah, he just went straight to F2. And Oliver Behrman as well. I mean, somebody who was a reserve driver for Ferrari back in the day. And now hitting it real hard. It's really great to see that these youngsters are there. Do they inspire you? Do you look up to them? How soon? Because they've made it there in quite record time.
Yeah. And
how soon do you envision yourself to be there?
Just as soon as them. Yeah, I mean, they've set the bar so high for all of us young racers.
Do you follow them on social media?
Yeah,
the quirky things that they do, have you integrated some of that in your own routine? Could you tell us about that?
First of all, it's nice to see that these guys are basically from my generation, just a little bit older, 4 or 5 years older than me, and it's like, these are my people, and they've already made it to F1.
So the dream looks achievable. The dream looks in place and in sight.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it also makes you feel that little bit more smaller. That okay, I've really got to up my game because these guys are practically my age. I have siblings as old as these guys, and they're already in Formula One.
Do you think with all these people, with the story that we have with Lewis Hamilton or Verstappen, how soon these guys actually started with their karting careers? You know, probably didn't even know, how to pick up, their school bags, and they were put and placed into the driving seat. And you started, let's say, about 11, 12 years is what you told us. Do you think that this time that you've probably lost out on, does it bother you? Does it worry you? Or do you think उससे ज़्यादा problem नहीं होगी? You can look beyond that. That's just a small hurdle. You can jump over it.
So at the start, when I did start, it really bothered me. I used to think, okay, I've started too late. Do I really want to keep going?
Yeah.
And, I obviously felt a bit conflicted about it. But now it's gotten a bit more, now it's in the back of my mind. I don't really worry about it too much because I've had some great improvement in just 3 years. So I feel like I can improve even more in the next few years. So it doesn't really bother me, not anymore.
Take us through your day. Like, what happens? You get up in the morning, and then you've got some karting practice before school, or do you go to school and then go to the karting track? What's it like?
So, I don't go to the karting track when I'm at home. I only really test and practice when I'm there for the race weekend. I'll usually go 4 or 5 days before. But on an ordinary day, I'll wake up, I'll go to school, I'll come back, take a little bit of rest, go to the gym. That's the most amount of training that I do in the day. I'll go to the gym, I'll do
They have some cool neck exercises that all these Formula 1 races also do. You're already doing all of that? Or is the G-force too little for the karts right now?
There's not a lot of G-force, but obviously, if you start now, it becomes easier when you actually have to do it properly, and when it really starts to get difficult. And like you said earlier about the reaction time exercises, I do all of that as well. A lot of core exercises as well. Yeah.
Is there a particular racer that you follow for all these exercise regimen? I know Yuki Tsunoda does a lot of abdomen work. Max Verstappen also does spends a lot of time in the gym. Lewis Hamilton has been changing the game for years now. So do you follow a particular regimen or a F1 motorsport style workout regimen?
I have a proper regimen with my trainer, and he's quite helpful. He lets me know what we're working on today and what muscle groups we're targeting. He lets me know when to take rest days, when not to overwork myself. I don't really look towards F1 drivers for for their workouts.
Yeah.
I don't follow them.
Particularly for that.
But obviously there's a lot of inspiration. What they're doing is what I'm doing, just at a slightly lower level.
Yeah.
Actually at a much lower level.
In terms of, coaching, you said you're surrounded by coaches and the entire team, the mechanics as well. What kind of input do they bring in? Because a coach in a cricketing scenario, one can easily imagine and understand. You can also see a coach on the sidelines of a football pitch screaming to their players as to what to do. But in go-karting, what is the role of a coach? What happens before the race, post-race? Because by the end of it, it's the machine where the mechanic is responsible, and then the driver, which is where you come in.
Yeah. So the role of a coach is most importantly to help the driver out both mentally and physically. So my coach, he'll tell me what to fix in my driving. I actually have a few coaches. I've had a few coaches.
Would you like to spill the beans here about what is it that you would like to work on, some weak areas that you do want to strengthen?
I can be a bit I overdrive the kart. In a sense, I'm too harsh on the tires. That really, I've been struggling with that from the start, and my coaches have been telling me to fix it. Yeah. And I can't really,
So maintaining speed, being in the clean air, looking after your tires for the longevity and endurance of the race. That's one aspect to take a look at.
So this is what I actually struggled with most in this race in Sri Lanka and the Asia-Pacific Championship.
How does the pit stop work in a karting setup?
There's no pit stops.
There is no pit stop, right? You don't change your tires.
Yeah.
So your tires they keep on degrading, and that you lose out on speed and downforce because of it.
There's no downforce in karting. It's just mechanical grip.
Nothing at
there's
all.
No aerodynamic.
You're not going at that speed to create that kind of downforce. What's the top speed in a karting setup?
120, 130 at some tracks. That's very rare, but even 120 sometimes. Mostly it stays between 110 to 120.
110, 120.
Yeah.
But that's still enough speed for you to rack up a nice set of chicane on a corner. You'll still have to be clinical and technical about it.
It's not so much about the top speed. The karts are very light and there's no suspension. So out of the corners, and from the middle of the straight to the end of the straight, that's where you really feel the power in the kart, because it's so light, it just flies out of the corners.
Out of the corners, it just flies.
Yeah.
The straights are much more, they make you feel the speed a little bit more.
Yeah.
Aarav, I've got a quick rapid fire for you.
All right.
Let's do that. Let's be quick on your feet. Let's see how well you do on this rapid fire. All right. I think we know the first one. Hamilton or Verstappen?
Verstappen.
Ferrari or Red Bull?
Red Bull.
Monaco street circuit or the Baku track?
Baku.
Why Baku?
Monaco's boring.
Okay.
It's just qualifying.
There's no overtaking.
Yeah, there's no overtaking
It's
in the
just
race.
the qualifying.
There's one corner where you can overtake. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Why do people still go crazy over Monaco? It's one of the highest, paid races. It's one of the most watched races. I think on the television it still looks better. I don't see myself booking a yacht and watching that boring race myself. I do agree and concur with you.
So it's how difficult it is to drive between those narrow streets. I've actually been lucky enough to go to Monte Carlo myself, and I've seen these are regular streets. And when I went there,
Yeah.
I was shocked that F1 cars are driving here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so tight and technical. I think that's why it's still so prestigious, because it's a very difficult track at the end of the day.
It is a historic and a legacy track, and especially the tunnel right after the casino, really difficult to come out. And the sunlight also does a number on you, when the sunlight comes in and when you're absolutely in shade. All right, so Monaco street circuit or Baku, you're going with Baku. A wet race or a night race?
Wet race.
Why so?
It's fun.
Challenges you a little bit more?
There's that much more of a risk of spinning out, crashing.
What is the speed degradation? You said an average would be about 100 to 110. In a rainy condition, in a wet weather condition, what would be the average speed then?
So your top speed won't drop by much, but
Okay.
it's your speed through the corners, out of the corners.
That's gonna drop a lot.
It becomes difficult to drive because you're just sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
And you have to really sort of have total control over the kart.
Who would your dream sponsor be later on? Let's just hope.
Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah.
Simulated racing or a real track practice?
Real track practice.
Real track
Any
practice. Favorite motorsport movie or docu-series?
Day. Favorite motorsport movie? Cars.
Cars. Oh yeah, that's a good shout. That's a
yeah.
good shout. Actually, all parts of Cars Disney does a good job at it. The go-to song before a race. Do you have one?
I don't have one song. I like listening to a lot of songs.
What's the genre of music that you like to go to?
I listen to rap music or like
Rap music,
and
hip hop
stuff.
music,
Yeah,
rap, hip hop.
Yeah.
Any particular artist?
Yeah, I
that
love
you
Travis
listen to?
Scott.
Travis Scott. Yeah. If you weren't racing, Aarav, what would you be doing?
Probably playing sports.
Hmm.
Hopefully.
What kind? Is there another sport that you dabble in?
I used to be quite good at football for my age when I was playing football. But recently I've gotten an interest back in cricket. I've started playing in school again. But I honestly can't imagine myself doing any other sport. Racing is just something I've stuck with so much more than any other sport.
And it's giving back to you as well.
Yeah.
With anything in life, the amount of input dictates the amount of output.
Yeah.
And I think you're getting there and you're getting it good. Finally, your message to all the little kids out there who probably think and dream about making it big into motorsports, but then are unwilling to take that step because of all the hurdles that I don't need to tell you. You know them clearly yourself. What would be your message to them?
Just go and drive. It doesn't hurt to try at all, ever. Try something new. The main thing is, if you just go and drive, and if you really, really like it, drive again. Drive the third time, the fourth time, and then slowly, if you see improvement, always just keep going.
When's the next race coming up, Aarav?
This weekend.
This weekend. Where is it?
I'm going to Alain in UAE.
Okay, so UAE is the next race. All the best to you for that particular race. Again, heartiest congratulations on that silver medal at the FIA Asia-Pacific Championship. We wish you best, all the very best, and hopefully see you in a Formula 4 car very, very soon, and very, very soon on the main track on the F1 grid as well. Many thanks for taking out the time, Aarav.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.